Do you want to know how to make some beef jerky homemade? Stay tuned. Hi friends, welcome back to Carrie's Culinary Crafts, and if you're new, welcome. I hope you'll stick around and hit that subscribe button down below if you like what you see. Here on Carrie's Culinary Crafts, we talk all things food, and today is no different. Today we are going to make some spicy beef jerky. And if that interests you, then come along with me and let's make some beef jerky.
So we're going to do the chuck roast, hot chili sauce. I found this A1. We don't use A1, so there's no point in me keeping it in my pantry. And this expired last year, but it's not open, and you can hear it's still completely liquid in there. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to use up the rest of this W sauce here. I'm going to use some liquid smoke, onion powder, garlic powder, and some smoked paprika. So let's get this open. Oh, and I guess I should get myself a marinating bag. One of my 2-gallon bags out. But we'll see after I cut up this roast here. This is 2.5 pounds. So it's not that much, but I had defrosted it and then realized we're not going to have a chance to eat it. So I need to go ahead and use it up. So I am just going to go ahead and use it for this beef jerky. And I'm going to try and cut this as thin as I can. Being that this is a chuck roast, there's a lot of fat on it. So they're definitely not going to be in perfect chunks. I'll get the big hunks off, and then the rest I'll just let on there. So are you a beef jerky fan, or are you definitely not? I find people either love it or hate it. I absolutely loved it. Always have, even when I was little. I used to want my mom to get the beef jerky or the Slim Jims. But I am definitely a fan. And my husband and 2 boys are as well. Okay, I'm going to cut around this big vein of fat here. When you're dehydrating it, even though it actually tastes really good, the pieces of fat that do get dehydrated, you should try not to dehydrate fat, especially if you are doing long-term storage for it. If you plan on like making this and setting it on your shelf, vacuum packing it and setting it on your shelf, it's not good to have that fat in there, because fat, even as long as you dehydrate it, fat is still going to have some moisture in there. So it's not something that you want setting on your shelf. It's something that you're going to want to eat in the next couple of weeks unless you put it in the freezer. Now, if you put it in the freezer, then it'll be fine, you know, for up to a year or so. But when I make it, it is pretty much gone either the same day or definitely the next day. And the one time I figured, oh, I'll just make a double batch this time, it was still gone the next day. Now, even though this looks really big, this, when it dehydrates, it's going to dehydrate to like half the size. Now, had I known I was going to be making beef jerky, I would have gotten out a lot more meat than this. Because if you're going to do beef jerky, you might as well, you know, do it right and do a lot. But this is basically going to be a snack for all the men in my life. But I have to use it up, so this is a great way to use it up. Hi, honey. You smell this, huh? You smell this? Wow, this is really, really marbled with fat. Would make for a great roast, but does not make for a great cutting up and making into jerky. That's for sure. Okay, there's a little bit of fat on this piece still, and this is the biggest piece. So this is the piece I will allow the chef, which is me, to have, because they're going to be fighting over this jerky, and at least if I get one really good piece, I'd be happy. And I'm sure I'll get a few pieces, but I am definitely leaving this one whole, which is the biggest piece in there, so I will know which one is mine. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and put the strips into this gallon bag. Let me get rid of this mess. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just start dumping. None of us like a sweet jerky. Well, my one son does like teriyaki, which tends to be a sweeter flavor. But the other three of us don't really like a sweet jerky. So I am not putting in any, whoops, forgot that was liquid smoke. Didn't really need that much, but oh well. So I won't be putting any type of sweetener in this recipe. But a lot of people will put like a little bit of brown sugar or a little bit of honey.
you know, something like that in order to give it a little sweetness. But I'm not going to do that. We prefer a very smoky, spicy beef jerky. Lots of garlic. So let's get some of this chili oil. I mean, this stuff is hot. Like, we're Frank's Red Hot family. This is at least 10 times the heat. At least. Okay. Hopefully that won't be too bad. I didn't want to touch it with my fingers because it stays on you. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and zip this up. And give it a good shake and a massage. Oh, I didn't put any A1 in there yet. See how much of this I can use up. I never use it, never think to use it, but I love A1. Okay, so we just got rid of that whole bottle. The more marinade that it soaks in the next couple of days, the better. But I like the flavor profile of A1, which is why I always like to add it to my beef jerky. Okay, and that's it. I am just going to put this in the refrigerator. Every time I go in, I'll just give it a little flip and a massage. But I am going to leave this in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. You can go up to 48 hours. So we'll see where it is when I get to it. I definitely know that I will not be getting to it tomorrow. Unless I feel good after my procedure. I'm having another procedure, for my hands. You guys have been following along with me for a long time. I've been having serious hand issues. I can't grip anything, can't lift anything up. He finally got me on some painkillers that at least allows me to be able to do a few things. But I don't want to be on painkillers for a while. I want this fixed. So I am having a neck
vertebrae procedure where they are sticking, they're putting 3 shots in my neck in between the vertebrae. So hopefully that will help out my hands. We shall see. They say it takes about 3 days before it starts kicking in. So we shall see. Okay, my meat has been marinating for 2 days. So I'm going to go ahead and get my beef jerky dehydrated. So I'm going to go ahead and push, I have a dehydrate button on my oven. So I am going to press that and hit start. I have a large sheet pan here with cooling rack. And I went ahead and sprayed that. And then we're going to go ahead and get all of our meat on the rack. So okay, that is it. And into the oven on dehydrate it goes. I will be checking this periodically. There are some pieces that's going to take longer than other pieces because there are some pieces that are thicker, some pieces that are thinner, some that are smaller. So I will let this go for a full 2 hours before I check it. And at that point, I will go ahead and check it and see where we're at. Okay, in this bowl I have a puck of my garlic and it is nice and thawed, and I have some green onions here. These are slightly frozen, but they will thaw quickly. And then I'm going to get my kefir cheese that I let out overnight. And I'm going to mix this in here. Now I want to show you the texture of this. Now you could let it go another day and it'll get even more firm, but each day that goes on it'll get a little more sour. But this is kind of the texture that I like it, because I like it soft and spreadable. And it's like goat cheese. You know, it's very soft. but it will stick together. So I am going to put all of that in there. And I'm just gonna need salt and pepper. Since I have the onions and garlic in there, all I will need to add is salt and pepper. And we'll give this a thorough mix to get all of that garlic and onion in there. Oh my, smells really, really good. Okay, I think I got that mixed pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste, and we'll see if it needs any more salt or pepper. That's good. Needs just a little more salt. Okay, let's give it another test. Yep, that did it. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on this, and it's going to go in the refrigerator. And you just need to use it up in the next week. You can use it on bagels. You can use it in casseroles like macaroni and cheese or anything like that that you might use cream cheese for. You can use it in mashed potatoes. That is one of my favorite ways to use this. Gives really good flavor to mashed potatoes. So really, you can do anything. You just need to think anything that you put Greek yogurt or cream cheese in, you can use this. And this has all those good probiotics in there that's really good for your gut. And it's just another thing that you don't have to buy from the store. No cream cheese, no Greek yogurt. You're good to go. Yum. Okay. Lid on it. In the fridge it goes.